सुप्रभातम. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचाम मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तम प्रवरम मुनीनां पतंजलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि. Welcome you all to this online MA program in Sanskrit and joining me in the class of Yoga Sutras. Introduction to Yoga Sutra is the paper in the second year of your MA Sanskrit program. We are now in the Sadhana Pada, that is the second chapter of Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and we have so far discussed the 16 sutras of the second chapter, Sadhana Pada, in which we had discussed about Kriya Yoga so far and why the Kriya Yoga is to be performed, Samadhi Bhavanartha, Klesha Tanukaranarthascha, just to experience the Samadhi and also to get rid of the Kleshas, which are 5 in number. Then all the 5 Kleshas were explained, how the Kleshas can be removed permanently, the Sthula and Sukshma level of Kleshas, the removal, the idea to remove them are also discussed. Te prasiprasava heyaha sukshmaha dhyana heyaha tadvrityaha. These 2 sutras discuss about the removal of those kleshas in the sukshma form and sthula form, and then later how the kleshas are the founder stone for various karmashayas that is haunting us in the form of both punya and papa and sukha and dukkha, and what are the results of this punya and papa, sukha and dukkha in the form of jati, ayur, bhoga, and the heyam, dukkham, anagatam, why the dukkham, samsaram happens, and how, what is the reason of the samsara, drashtu drishyayoho sanyogaha heya hetuhu. Until this sutra we had discussed in earlier classes. In today's class we are going to discuss about the Heyopaya. What is the Heya? Reason for the Heya is discussed so far. Atra Sutrakaraha Drishyasya Swarupam Prayojanam cha Kathayati. What is the Drishya? That is the Jagat, Buddhi Sattvam. The Buddhi Sattvam, that is the Drishyam, that is developing in the form of a Jagat in front of you, in your understanding, in your perception. So what is this? And what is this? Its Swarupam and Prayojanam. That is discussed in this sutra. Drishyam prapanchayati. Now the elaborate explanation about the drishyam, description of the drishyam is now given. Prakasha kriya sthiti sheelam bhutendriyatmakam bhoga apavargartham drishyam. Bhoga is sukha dukkhadi. Apavarga is the moksha. Why someone is bound with the bhogas, be it sukha or dukkha, and how someone can get rid of this bhoga, this samsara, by attaining this apavarga. But for both these, drishyam is the reason. So prakasha kriya sthiti sheelam bhutendriyatmakam bhogapavargartham drishyam. The drishyam is defined this way. Drishyam prakasha kriya sthiti sheelam. The drishyam is prakasha kriya sthiti sheelam. All these 3 are the attributes of this the drishyam, and it is to be understood in the form of bhutas and indriyas that are used for either experiencing the bhogas or to get rid of this samsara by attaining the moksha. See, sattvam rajaha tamaha cha drishyasya gunaha bhavanti. Drishyam, that is the buddhi sattvam, that is divided into 3: sattvam, rajaha and tamaha. These 3 are drishyasya jagataha buddhi sattvasya gunaha bhavanti. Pancha bhutani, we know, prithvi ap tejo vayu akasham, dasha indriyani, pancha karmendriyani, pancha jnanendriyani cha drishyasya swarupam bhavanti. The gunas are sattvam rajas tama of the drishyam, and swarupa is the pancha bhuta. This is now taking the shape are taking the form of Panchabhutas and Dasha Indriyas. So 15 Drishyasya Swarupam Bhavanti. Tadrishyam Purushasya Krite Bhoganubhavaya Tatha Apavarga Praptaye Cha Bhavati. This Drishyam is either for giving the experience of Bhoga or to help the sadhaka to attain moksha. For both, this Drishyam is required. Yoga Sudhakara says this way. Prakashaha prakhya rupaha, jnana rupaha, that is sattvasya gunaha. Kriya pravritti rupa, that is rajogunasya swabhavaha. Sthitihi niyama rupa, tattu tamasaha swabhavaha. Ataha taha prakasha kriya sthitayaha taha sattva rajas tamasam dharmaha. இது எல்லாமே all these things are the attributes of the sattvam rajas tamas. இந்த மூணுத்தினுடைய தர்ம என்று அதனுடைய நேச்சர். ஷீலம் ஸ்வாபாவிகம் ரூபம் யஸ்ய தத் ததோக்தம். ஏததேவ ஷீலம் ஸ்வபாவः. பூதேந்திரியாத்மகம். பூதானி. What are the bhutani? Mahabhuta tanmatra bheda bhinnani. We know Mahabhutas and Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Jnanendriya and Tanmatra, Shabda Tanmatra, Sparsha Tanmatra, Rupa Tanmatra, Rasa Tanmatra, Gandha Tanmatra. Okay, Indriyani, Buddhi, Karma, Indriya, Antahkarana, Bheda Bhinnani. Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, Antahkarana, Bheda Bhinnani. So all these are the forms of these three. Prakasha, as we discussed, is the quality of the sattvam. Kriya is the quality of the rajas, and sthiti, inaction, is the attribute of tamas. So etaha tasraha api prakasha kriya sthitayaha niyama rupaha taha sattva rajas tamasam. All the three gunas, no, sattva rajas tamas tesham dharmaha swabhavaha shilam swabhavikam. Okay, that's why etate ग्राह्य ग्रहण रूपम आत्मा स्व अभिन्न परिणामः यस्य तथोक्तम्. अतः एतत् ग्राह्य ग्रहण रूपम आत्मा स्व अभिन्न परिणामः तन्नै काट्टिलुम वेरे ओन्राग इल्लाददान परिणामम यस्य तथोक्तम्. भोग अपवर्गार्थम, either it is used for experiencing the bhoga sukha dukkhas or the apavarga phala prapti, the moksha. Bhoga moksha prayojakam tat drishyam. So this prayojakam, the drishyam, is used for both experiencing the sukha dukkhas in this world by being bounded with the samsara, or to get rid of the samsara by attaining the moksha. For both, this is required drishyam. Sutrakarah drishyasya vividhanam avasthanam vishaye varnayati. There are several stages of this drishya that we have discussed by Bhagavan Patanjali in this Yoga Sutra. एतस्य गुणत्रयात्मकस्य दृश्यस्य गुणत्रयात्मकस्य सत्वरजस्तमो गुणत्रयात्मकस्य दृश्यस्य दिस जगतः बुद्धिसत्वस्य परिणामं विभज्य दर्शति. The परिणाम ना अदरुடைய evolution, the evolution of the drishya in 4 stages is now being explained. Vishesha, Avishesha, Lingamatra, Alingani, Gunaparvani. The gunas what we discussed earlier, Sattva, Rajas, Tama, they have 4 parvas. Parvas nama, there are 4 places where they can be exhibited. They can exhibit themselves in 4 stages. So, Vishesha, Avishesha, Lingamatra, Alingani, Gunaparvani. What is this? Visheshaha, Avisheshaha, Lingamatram, Alingam ityetani Chatvari Parvani Sattvaadi Gunanam Avastha Bhavanti. So, Guna Parvani Nama Gunaha Sattvarjas Tamamsi Tesham Parvani Nama Avasthaha, stages. So, what are the 4 stages of these 3 gunas? Visheshaha. Shodasha Visheshas Santi. There are 16 Vishesha Vishayaha are there in the Srishti. What are there? Panchabhuhu. Panchabhutani. Dasha Indriyani. वो 5 दश इन्द्रियाणि 10 5 10 15 मनः च 16 सो एते षोडश विशेषतया अंगीक्रियन्ते पंचमहाभूतानि 10 इन्द्रियाणि मनः च इति इमे षोडश अपि विशेष इति ग्रुप मध्ये अंतर्भवन्ति दे आर ऑल ब्रॉट अंडर द विशेष कैटेगरी देन 6 अविशेषः नॉट सो विशेष दैट अविशेष सामान्य व्हाट इज दैट शब्दादीनि पंच तन्मात्राणि पंच शब्द तन्मात्र स्पर्श तन्मात्र रूप तन्मात्र रस तन्मात्र गंध तन्मात्र एतानि पंच तन्मात्राणि अहंकारः दैट इज द बुद्धि's outer extension. Okay, so 6 are avisheshas. Lingamatram, that is mahatattvam. Alingam pradhanam. When the gross prakriti forms itself into the mahat, there it starts getting identified as purusha, stri, that is a lingam. Lingyate iti lingam. From the mahatattvam onwards, all the vyakti bheda visheshas are started exhibiting their sarupa. Until it is Prithvi, there is absolutely no lingam possible. But when it's taken the shape of mahatattvam, all these linga bhedas will be exhibited. That's why one, there is lingamatram, there is mahatattvam. Alingam, without any lingam attributive, that is pradhanam, that is prakritihi ityadayah santi. So these three gunas evolve into these 4 stages. Vishesha, and when it is called Vishesha, then these are 16 in number, which are identified as Visheshas, Pancha Mahabhutani, Dasha Indriyani, Mana, and 6 Visheshas, Avisheshas, Shabdadini Pancha Tanmatrani, and Ahankara. 1 Lingamatram Mahatattvam, and 1 Alingam Pradhanam. So 16 plus 6 16 22 24. So 24 avasthas are there for this sattvam rajas tamas. Okay, this is how. Even otherwise, you see, even earlier we had discussed about the Sankhya Tattva, Sankhya philosophy, where all these 24 tattvas were explained. The same 24 tattvas are divided into 4 groups with the name Vishesha, Avishesha, Lingamatra, Aringa. Visheshaha Mahabhuta Indriya Manorupaha Shodash Vikaraha Avisheshaha Tanmatra Ahankaraha Shat Prakriti Vikritayah Layam Gacchati iti Lingamatram Prakriti Vikara Rupam Mahatattvam Alingam Nama Gunanam Samyavastha Rupam Pradhanam Etare Chatvaryapi Gunanam Parvani Nama Avastha Visheshaha Ityarthaha. This is the Yoga Sudhakara of Sadashiva Brahmendra's commentary. Now, the Sutrakara gives you Drashtuhu Buddhehe Samyamati Kim Bhavati iti varnayati. When the Drashta, that is the Purusha, Jiva, Swabuddhehe Sanyamat, Drashtuhu Buddhehe Sanyamat, when the Drashta, that is the Purusha, controls all his faculties. Buddhe hai samya, because Buddhi Tattva alone is evolves into the form of Tanmatra, Ahankara, Satvikaha, Rajasika, Tamasika, Ahankara. All these srishtis are from there only taking place. So Buddhe hai samyamat. When the Buddhi is controlled, what happens? Ittam heyam drishyam prathamam nirupya upadeyam drashtaram nirupayitum aha. So far, till the earlier sutras, the drishyam was explained. Now the drashta is being explained. What is drashta? Who is drashta? So drashta is someone drishimatraha shuddhaha api pratyayarupashyaha. Drashta, that is Purusha, drishimatraha. Drishihi nama jnanam. Saha jnanamatraha, chinmatraha. Its original identity is only jnanam. Drashta is only Drishimatra. Sa Vastutah Shuddha. Athapi Shuddhopi. Though he is very Shuddha, but Pratyaya Anupashyaha. Due to the Ajnana, he sees his own reflection outside and construe it as a prapancha, and he thinks that he is the creator of this prapancha and he is the bhokta, that is this bhogya. He thinks he is the karta, that is this karyam. That is why this problem, all these problems emanate. So, yadyapi shuddha, tathapi avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinavesha, all the kleshas drive him and confuse him to make him believe that he is the karta, bhokta, all these things. Actually, he is only jnana matra, is neither karta nor bhokta, none of that sort. Okay? Ataha purushartha, bhavartha, purusha swabhavatha sarvatha shuddha asti. In nature, the purusha is always pure. Tathapi, despite being pure, buddhehe vrityanuganam, whatever the vritti, that the buddhehe sattvam yadasti chittam tasya vrityanugunam vishayan anubhavati. It takes the experiences of all the vishayas. Shabda, Sparisha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, எல்லாத்தையும் போட்டுட்டு தலையில் போட்டுட்டு வேலியில் போகிற ஓனான மடியில் போட்டுட்டு குடையிறதே நானாவத்தோம். அது மாதிரி the same way, though he is very pure in nature, but still due to the avidya, this buddhisattvam will take him to the mirror, like called the chittam. Whatever is reflected there is himself. He sees as the expansion of himself, and he thinks he is the karta of this jagat and bhokta is of this jagat, and that is why he experiences all the sukham and dukkham, these things. Ultimately, the sukham and dukkham paves way for punarjanma. Punarapi baranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam, iha samsare, bahudustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare, bhajagovindam. That is the advice of Adi Shankaracharya. So, drashta purushaha drishimatraha chinmatraha na jnana adi dharmakaha. Jnanam is not his attribute. He himself is the jnana swarupa. Oh, please don't think this purusha has the jnanam. Purusha doesn't have jnanam. Purusha himself is the jnana swarupa. Tadharmakatve tasya vrittirupatiga vinashashīlatvad. If you think that the jnanam is the attributive of the purusha, then attributives are also will be termed as vrittis, and vrittis are always having the nasha. But this jnanam avinashi, that cannot be removed. अतः उपयन अपयन धर्मो विकरोति हि धर्मिणम इति न्यायेन आत्मनः कौटस्थ्यम हीयेत. So if the jnanam is not the attributive of the purusha, jnanam itself purusha himself is the jnana swarupa. So don't create any sambandha between jnanam and purusha, because there is absolutely no this thing, both are same. Kautasthyam ataha shuddhaha, though he is pure, aparinami api, though it has no parinama in reality, pratyayam, bauddham pratyayam, whatever is reflected in buddhi, that's anupashyati, also sees there, and he is now cheated, he is being driven by the buddhisattva. Ataha tam anupashyan atatatma api, though he is not the prapancha, atatatna atate atma atatatma api tadatma bhutaha iva swayam, he is part of the prapancha iti pratibhasate iti artha, as if he is the world, he holds the world, he is part of the world, he himself is the world. No, nothing of that sort is there. He is not the world, he is only the world is reflecting in his understanding, in his idea, as if it is he himself, but it is not so. கண்ணாடியில் பார்க்கக்கூடிய நம்மளோட இமேஜ் நாம இல்லை, though it reflects only your this thing, but still the whatever the image that is reflected there in the mirror is not you. அதில் கலர் தெரிச்சா உனக்கு வெடிக்காது, அதை உடைச்சா உனக்கு ஒன்றும் பண்ணாது. Nothing will happen. If someone burns effigy பண்றாங்க பொலிட்டிக்கல் effigy burning ஒரு பொம்மை பண்ணி அதுக்கு மூஞ்சி கொடுத்து they express their protest, they express their dissatisfaction. What they do, they cannot do it on your body, but they do it to the effigy of you. So this is the same way we think we are the bhokta and karta. In reality, we are neither karta nor bhokta of this prapancha. We are only always standing aloof in reality. Anyone who realizes this through the viveka, through the abhyasa, obviously he will become the mukta. So that is the idea of this sutra. Tam anupashyanya atadatma api, though he is not the prapancha, jiva, still tadatma bhutaha iva. Prapancha iva, he identifies, he becomes one with the prapancha. That is not the true reality of himself. He is not that, he is someone big. He is a Chetana Swarupa, prapancha is the Jada Swarupa. Atra Sutrakaraha Jagatah Prayojanam Kata. Why this Jagat is there? Ittam Drishya Drashtaro Abhidhaya, having explored both the Drishyam and Drashta, Tayoho Shesha Sheshitvam Abhidhatum Aha. How the Jiva Drashta is the Sheshi and the Jagat is Shesha. Tadartha Eva Drishyasya Atma. Drishyasya Atma Tadartha Eva Bhavati. Only this Drishya is there to present itself to the Atma, tadartha eva. You see, Jagatah Swarupam Purushasya Krite eva bhavati. The Jagat, whatever the Buddhisattvam that is there expanded in this, in front of us, Jagatah Swarupam, Purusha, in order to serve the Purusha alone, the Jagat is there. Jagatah Swarupam Purushasya Krite eva bhavati. Ashtadishe Sutrepi ayam vishayah katitah Drishyam Purushasya Bhogapavargarthameva. For the Purushas, Bhoga and Apavarga. The Drishyam is there, it presents itself. You can either use it to experience the Bhogas, or you can also use it for getting rid of the Samsara and Moksha. That is why even the body is required for moksha, because the karmas have to be performed only through bodies. But the karmas, when performed with nishkamya buddhi, when there is no attachment with the karma that we perform in the results, then obviously the performed karma will get you the chitta shuddhi. All the dirts, all the impurities, like this avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, kleshas will all go. Then the Atma will become pure. In the pure Atma, the reflection of the self will happen. That is Atma Sakshatkara. Even to attain this Atma Sakshatkara, you need to be born in this Jagat. That is why the Jagat is important for both the Samsara and also the Moksha. Without the body, you cannot do anything. That is why Jantunam, Narajanma Durlabham, Tatah Pumstvam, Tato Viprata, all these things are explained by Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada in Viveka Chudamani. Please go through that also. Only you learn all these things and be able to put them into the perspective. Then alone you will be able to understand the gamut of all these supporting Shastras. Even Yoga Shastra is the contributive Shastra to the Advaita Vedanta Shastra. Okay? That's why. Yoga Sudhakaraha. Drishyasya, that is the Bhogyasya, Atma Swarupam, Drashtuhu Arthameva, na Swartham, Achetanatvat. This Drishya, that is the Bhogasya, Atma Swarupam, Drashtuhu Swarupam Atma, Yahasti, Sa, na Swartham. Tanakaga the Jagate Kristi Panikolavillai. This is always to help the Purusha. Na Swartham. परंतु दृष्टु अर्थमेवा அந்த புருஷனுக்காக தான் இந்த दृश्यம் இருக்கே தவிர தனக்காக அது ஒண்ணும் பண்ணிக்காது. பாருங்க, இந்த மரம், செடி, கொடி, all these creations are only to help the humans. ஒரு தென்னை மரத்தை தேங்காய் காய்ச்சதுன்னா அந்த தேனை இளநியை அந்த தென்னை மரம் சாப்பிட முடியுமா? The same coconut tree that bears fruits cannot drink its own elanir, but it serves the humans. Mamaram, it gives you beautiful and tasty mangoes, but the maram, the vriksha, doesn't take all these mango fruits. Only for you and I, it bears the fruit. Same way, the entire prapancha is created to serve the Atma. You understand now? So, achetana, because all these are achetana. The entire prapancham is achetana. The trees are also chetana, but they cannot act on their own. They have to serve the society, the humans. All others are there to serve, even the non-human species are there to serve the cause of humans. Human interest. Nadi, the jalam of the river is not useful for itself. It is only useful for you and I. All the natural resources are there only for the Atma. We are the representatives of this Atma. So, उक्तम अन्यत्र दिशति एतेन स्वीय शब्द स्पर्श रूप रसगंधानां सम्यमाते श्रोत्रादि अग्राह्यत्व सिद्धिः उक्ता भवति इति वेदितव्यम्. दृश्यं किमर्थं न नश्यति इति सूत्रकारः. ओके, यू अंडरस्टैंड. ननु दृष्टो प्रयोजने निष्पन्ने सति कृतकृत्यतया प्रधाने निर्व्यापारे अधुना संसारः लोपलभ्येत इति चेत् न इत्याह. कृतार्थं प्रति नष्टमपि अनष्टं तदन्यसाधारणत्वात्. दिस इज द ब्यूटिफुल सूत्रम, very very near to Advaita Vedanta darshanam. The Siddhanta of Advaita Vedanta darshanam is now suggested here. Kritartham prati nashtamapi anashtam tadanyasadaharanatvat. You see, somebody, a yogi who performs the abhyasa and vairagya, and through samprajnata and all the ashtanga yoga attains the jnanam. Kaivalyam is now, he has attained now. Kritartham prati, the one who has attained the jnana, tam prati, for him the prapancha is nashta. It is lost. No more prapancha is there. But still the prapancha is there because anya sadharanatvat, because the jiva is not you alone. There are anantaha jivaha. The humans are many. In India alone we are 143 crore people. The entire world, when you take, there will be more than 6 to 7 billion people. If one sadhaka becomes jnani, that doesn't ensure that all the 6 billion people, 7 billion people will also attain jnana and moksha, kaivalyam, in the same breath. No, that is not there. Kritartham prati nashtamapi. You see, mukta purushasya krite, the one who is someone who is already mukta, for him drishyasya prayojanam samaptam bhavati. The entire buddhisattvam, the prapancha, everything has lost their sheen. They will be no more helpful, no more they are no more needed, required for the mukta purusha. For a mukta, this prapancha is also always not needed. Samaptam bhavati. Tathapi anyesham purushanam krite bhoga apavarga prayojanam bhavati eva. Yes sir, na saaptena enak pasi yarum ungalku aruma. So as everyone has to feed himself to remove the kshut, pasi, yeah, hunger. Same way, if someone becomes mukta, all humans are not muktas, because the jivas are always many, not one. Ishvara alone is one. That is why in Yoga Siddhanta, Purusha is divided into two. One is Jiva, who is many, Ananta, whereas the Ishvara is Ekam. Advaita Vedanta also gives you the idea, this 2 and 1 are not the Paramasiddhanta. The twin nature of the Jagat is due to the Vyavaharika Satta. But Paramarthika Satta remains only one Jagat. All we are also part and parcel of the same one Parabrahma. But that Parabrahma is perceived as two as long as you are in the samsara. For the Vyavahara, for all the practical purpose, you need to have these two Dvitvam, that is Dvaita Bhanam. Dvaita Buddhi is needed. But Dvaitam is not the Paramasiddhanta. Advaitam is the Paramasiddhanta. Okay, so Kritartham Prati Mukta, so it's Pradhanam Ekam. Mukta Purushasya Krite Drishyasya Prayojanam Samaptam Bhavati Tathapi Anyasham Purushanam Krite Bhoga Apavarga Prayojanam Bhavatyeva Ataha Tasya Drishyasya Sarvata Nashaha Na Sambhavati. Pradhanam Ekam Purushaha Anantaha Tathacha Purushapkhyati Pariyantam Bhogapavargau Dattva Kanchana Kritartham Prati Nashtam Nirvyaparamapi Purushantara Sadharanatvat Anashtameva Avatisthate. Okay? The Purushakhyati Pariyantam, until you obtain this Viveka Khyati, Purusha Khyati, until then this Bhoga Apavarga Dattva, this Prapancha will serve you both Bhoga and Apavarga. Dattva Kanchana Kritartham Prati, if someone due to his sadhana is capable of disassociating himself from the Prapancha and remains aloof as the Mukta, for him Kanchana Kritartham Prati Nashtam Nirvyaparamapi, for him there is absolutely no purpose for this, is to be served, no purpose is to be served for that Mukta as far as the Prapancha is concerned. But Purushantara Sadharanatva, but there are several Purushas. Ataha, for the others, it is Anashtameva Avatisthate, it is still there with blood and flesh. Tathacha Ekamuktau Sarvamukti Prasanga Anavakasha iti bhava. Yaro Ottanaku Mukti Vanda Attana Peru Mukti Varum Grudi Kadayadi. Every Ottan Saptana Attana Peru Sapta Madri Grudi Kadayado Ade Madri. Uttara Saptachana Kurubat the Michivella Saptamantama. So the food consumed by the individual will only serve that individual. The hunger of others will not be removed by someone alone takes the food. So that is the fine. Now, the Sutrakara Drashtuhu Drishyasya cha Sayogam Varnayate. How the Sayoga between the Drashta and Sayoga happens? Itam Drashya Drishtaro Vyakhyaya Tat Sayogam Vyakhyatum. How the Sayoga connection between the Drashta and Drishyam that takes place. Swaswami Shaktyoho Swarupopalabdhi Hetuho Sanyogaha. Swaswami Shaktyoho Swarupopalabdhi Hetuhu Sanyogaha. Swashaktihi Swami Shaktihi Tayoho Swarupa Upalabdhi Hetuhu Eva Sanyogaha. The Sanyoga is nothing but Swashakti and Swami Shakti become one with each other. Swashaktihi Nama Drishya Swabhavaha. The Prapancha's nature. Drishyasya Prapanchasya Swabhavaha Swashaktihi. Swami Shaktihi Nama Drashtuhu Swabhavaha. That is the Purusha Shaktihi. Yatayoho Sanyogaha Eva Bhogasya Apavargasya cha Karanam Bhavati. Senda Bhogam Pirinja Apavargam. Swashakti, Swami Shakti, Prapancha Shakti and Purusha Shakti, Drashta Shakti. Rendu one night there is a Prapancham for the Drashta. When the Drashta is capable of detaching himself from the Prapancha, then that is the Apavarga Moksha. अतः दृश्यस्य स्वरूपोपलब्धिः भोगः पुरुषस्य स्वरूपोपलब्धिः मोक्षः अथवा अपवर्गः. This is very simple. So when the Purusha, due to the Ajnana, Avidyadi, Ajnana Karanam, Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, all the kleshas headed by avidya, when they have sway over your Shakti, then what will happen? You will be dragged towards the Drishyam Prapancha through the Vrittis. The Vrittis will bind you with this world and you are experiencing both Sukha and Dukkha with this Prapancha. When that connection is removed, with severed, obviously you will become detached. Swashakti Drishya Swabhavaha, Swami Shakti Drik Swabhavaha. That is the Drashtra Swabhavaha. Tayoho Drashtra Shaktiyoho Prapancha Shaktiyoho Drishya Shaktiyoho Chaita Chetanattvena Vyavastitayoho ஒன்று ஜடமாகவும் ஒன்று சேத்தனமாகவும் இருக்கக்கூடிய ரெண்டுத்தினுடைய ஸ்வரூபோபலப்தி போகாபவர்க ரூபா தஸ்வஸ்வஸ்வ ஸ்வரூபஸ்ய உபலப்தி பிராப்தி அங்க போகமாகவும் இங்க மோட்சமாகவும் வெளிப்படுகிறது तस्य प्रपंचस्य स्वरूपोपलब्धिः संसाररूपः भवति भोगस्य स्वरूपोपलब्धिः नाम च द्रष्टुः स्वरूपोपलब्धिः मोक्षरूपेण परिणम्यते तस्याः हेतुः संयोगः द्रष्टृदृश्य स्वभावः अविद्याकृतः जस्ट சொன்னேனே இது எப்படி வந்தது அப்படினா இந்த संयोगம் இது அவித்யையினால ஏற்பட்டது तस्याः संयोगस्य हेतुः दृश्य स्वभावः अविद्याकृतः एवं च यस्य अभावे दृग्दृश्ययोः स्वरूपोपलब्धिः न भवति यत् भावे सा भवति सः संयोगः कार्यैक उन्नेयः इत्युपदिष्टं भवति एवं च यस्य अभावे दृग्दृश्ययोः स्वरूपोपलब्धिः न भवति यत् भावे सा भवति सा नाम स्वरूपोपलब्धिः भवति सह संयोगः कार्यैक उन्नेयः इति उपदिष्टं भवति सो इट इज वेरी क्लियर when the स्वशक्ति स्वामी शक्ति ரெண்டுத்துடைய स्वरूपத்துக்கு உபலப்தியா இருக்குது தான் இந்த संयोगः சரியா संयोगस्य कारणं किम इति संयोगं why this संयोगं happens संयोगस्यापि उपायमः तस्य हेतुरविद्या only due to the avidya this sayoga between drashta and drishyam happen avidya tasya hetuhu asti this ignorance the innate ignorance that is always there with the people anyone who is born in this world is born with all these avidya asmita raga dvesha abhinivesha Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. All these Adhyatmika, Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, all these Tapatrayams are innate qualities of the humans. Whenever they are born, whoever it is, he will be born with all these attributes. Only through efforts you have to get rid of all these things. So avidya tasya nama संयोगस्य हेतुः द्रष्टृदृश्ययोः यः संयोगः अविद्याकृतः भवति तस्य हेतुः अविद्या एव प्रकृतिप्रत्यययोः प्रकृतिपुरुषयोः यः संयोगः अस्ति तस्य संयोगस्य कारणम् अविद्या एव that is मिथ्याज्ञानमेव ignorance அத்தஸ்மின் தத்புத்திஹி மித்யாஜ்ஞானம் எதுவாக எது இல்லையோ அதை அதுவாக இருப்பதாக கொள்ளுது வெள்ளியாக இல்லாத கிளிஞ்சலில் வெள்ளியை காண்பது அவித்யா அது மித்யாஜ்ஞானம் ரஜதத்வாபாவவத்யாம் சுக்த்யாம் ரஜதத்வ ஞானம் அயதார்த்த ஞானம் அதே மாதிரி ஸ்தானுர்வா புருஷோவா இருட்டில் தம்பத்தை பார்த்து மனுஷன் இருக்கிற மாதிரி தோன்றது யாரோ இருக்காங்க லைட் போட்டு பார்த்தாச்சு இது ஒரு தூண் தான் கீழே கிடக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு கயிறு லைட் இல்லாத போது பாம்பு மாதிரி தோன்றது when you switch on the light see it is only a rope not serpent so this avidya is the reason for this samsara avidya is the reason for drashtudrishyayoh sanyogah तस्य संयोगस्य पूर्वोक्ता अविद्या एव हेतुः कारणम् इत्यर्थः स्पष्टम् सो हानं what is the hanam? Hanasya sarupam. How to get rid of this drashtu drishyayoho sanyoga? You see, heyam dukkham anagatam. The dukkham that is already experienced cannot be done with anything. You cannot do anything with the experienced dukkham. That is gone. What has started giving you the experience cannot be avoided. That you have to undergo. But what you can avoid? Anagatam dukkhameva. Pudusa varakudiyadana dukkhata mattunda unna thadappada mudiyum. You can only control the future dukkhams. Yeah? Adha heyam. Adha samsara. And the hetu enna sonnar? Drashtu drishyayoho sanyoga heya hetuhu sonnar. And the hetuku hanam na enna? How to get rid of this sanyoga? Solra tadabhavat sanyoga bhavaha hanam tad drishyehe kaivalyam tadabhavat sanyoga bhavaha avidyayaha abhavat. If you could get rid of this avidya, asmita raga dvesha abhinivesha, all the kleshas, avidyayaha abhavat, if you are capable of coming out of this avidya, prakriti purushayoho sanyogasyapyabhavaha bhavati. Even then, the prakriti purusha, both the sanyoga also will be lost. Only the jnanam, when the light pota iruttu pora madri, there is a darkness. How to remove this darkness? You cannot do anything. Simply light the lamp. The andhakara will always immediately go off. They will not wait even for a single second. So the moment you attain this jnanam, the same moment this ajnanam will also, because when the jnanam comes, ajnanam cannot remain there. You cannot find both jnanam and ajnanam in a single place. Ajnanam will be there until the jnanam strikes you. The moment jnanam strikes, ajnanam would have already gone. Otherwise jnanam wouldn't have come. That's why tadabhavat avidya bhavat sanyoga bhavaha tadeva hanam. Aduna and the drashtu drishyayoho sanyogatiyum pokadikiradungiradhu. Tadu drishyehe kaivalyam asti. Aduna the drishi shakti, drik shaktiyana and the ஞான ஸ்வரூபனான அந்த ஈஸ்வரனுக்கு ஜீவனுக்கு கைவல்யம் அஸ்தி. அதுதான் அவனுக்கு மோக்ஷம். கைவல்யம் இஸ் நத்திங் பட் what moksham for Advaitins or other philosophers. So avidyayaha abhavat prakriti purushayoho sanyogasyapi abhavaha bhavati. Tada dukkhanam nashaha hanam bhavati. Then all the dukkhams, the prapancha, samsara are lost. Etadeva purushasya kaivalyam asti. This is what is called kaivalyam, or in other words called moksha. Tasyaha avidyayaha abhavate vidyaya vinashate. Vidyankriti jnanam. Yeah, and the vidyaya vinashate tatkrita avidyakrita sanyoga vinashaha. Sanyoga is also lost. Yati tadeva drishyehe nityamuktayaha chitishaktehe kaivalyam. Adudha drishi என்று சொல்லப்படக்கூடியதான நித்தியமும் முக்தனாகவே சம்பந்தமே இல்லாமல் பிரகிருதியோட சம்பந்தமே படாமல் இருக்கக்கூடியதான அந்த திருக்ஷக்தி அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு சித்திசக்திக்கு கைவல்யம் இத்யர்த்தா. அதுதான் மோக்ஷம். Now, the Sutrakara Hanasya Praptehe Upayam Kathayati. Now, how the Hanam can be, the removal of the avidya can happen. Viveka Khyatihi Aviprava Hano Payaha. The Viveka Khyati, Vivekam Khyati na Jnananda. Viveka Jnanam, when it is unhindered, Vipravana hindrance. Aviprava unhindered, Viveka Khyati the flowing, the all ever flowing Viveka Khyati Jnanam is the only single upaya for the removal of this avidya. Prakritihi bhinna, Purushaha bhinna, ityevam vidam Viveka Jnanam. The Prakriti samsara ella vere, na Purushan vere. Ityevam vidam Viveka Jnanam avirodhataya sarvadukha nashaya nashasya karanam bhavati. This is the viveka jnanam. Avirodhataya konjam kuda maramal, without any deviation, sarvadukha nashasya karanam bhavati, becomes the reason for getting rid of all the dukkhams. Aviprava, unhindered, avidya virodhini, the whatever is working against this avidya, that is sattva purushayoho anyata khyatihi, the knowledge of being different one, not one with the prapancha. I am alone, the prapancha is different. This anyatva khyatihi, நான் அவன் அல்ல, அந்த பிரபஞ்சம் நான் இல்லை, நான் முக்தன், என்னை இந்த சம்சாரம் கட்டுப்படுத்தாது, இதை விட்டு நான் பிரிந்து விட்டேன் என்கிற அந்த ஞானம் இருக்கே, சத்வபுருஷயோஹோ அந்யதா க்யாதிஹி ஹானஸ்ய கைவல்யஸ்ய ஹேதுஹு, அதுதான் கைவல்யத்துக்கு காரணம். அயம் சூத்திரத்வயஸ்ய அபிசந்தியர்த்தா, இதுதான் இந்த ரெண்டு சூத்திரத்தினுடைய காமன் மீனிங், கன்சாலிடேட்டட் மீனிங். ஆதர நம்பிக்கையோட நைரந்தரிய தொடர்ந்து செய்யப்படக்கூடியதான தீர்க்ககால, வித்தவுட் எனி பிரேக், ஃபார் very long time, அனுபந்தி தொடர்ந்து வரக்கூடிய யம நியமாதி அங்கானுஷ்டானேன, all the yama niyama asana pranayama 8 angas, whatever that, தேஷாம் அனுஷ்டானேன சத்வ புருஷ அந்யதா க்யாதோ. when with all these abhyasas you are able to understand and perceive the difference between Sattvam, Buddhi Sattvam, that is the Prapancha, and Purusha, that is the Purusha Shakti, Chit Shakti, that is the Drik Svabha. Anyata Khyatu, Rendum Tani Tani, என்று புரியும் போது அவிப்ரவாயாம் ஜாத்தாயம், அது கொஞ்சம் கூட மறுபடியும் சேராமல் கான்ஸ்டன்ட் ஞானம். Jatayam avidyadeha pancha klesha, all the 5 kleshas starting with avidya, tatkrita sanyogascha, whatever is happening that due to the avidya, that is the sanyoga of drashta and drishya, samoola kasham kushita bhavanti, verum veradi mannum illamal avigal azhikkapattu vidugiன்றன. They are removed from the root. Kushala akushala karmashayaha, capable uncapable karmashayaha, all the dharma rupaha tad vipakaha jatyadeyaha api samulaghatam hata bhavanti. There will neither be punya or apunya, and so no janma, no ayus, no bhoga, nothing will be there. That is moksha. Tatascha paravairagyena annita khyati nivrittau nirodha samadhyabhyasena chitte nirvartyate sati purushasya nirlepasya swarupa pratishtha rupam kaivalyam bhavati. அதான் முன்னாடி சொன்னோமே, வைராக்கியம் பரம் அபரம் சேதி த்விவிதம் வைராக்கியம்னு. பரவைராக்கியன அந்நிதா க்யாதி நிவர்த்தோ, இது ரெண்டும் ஒன்றா இருக்குங்கிற மாதிரியான அந்த ஞானத்தை நிவர்த்தோ, அது நீங்கிய பிறகு நிரோத சமாத்தியபியாசேன, எல்லா விருத்திகளையும் நிரோதம் பண்ணி சமாதியை அபியாசம் பண்ணும்போது சித்தே நிர்வர்த்தித்தே, சித்தம் என்ற மைண்டும் கூட நசித்து போய்விட்ட சமயத்தில் புருஷஸ்ய, அந்த தனியாக இருக்கக்கூடியதான திருக்ஷக்தி மட்டுமாக இருக்கக்கூடிய புருஷஸ்ய நிர்லேபஸ்ய, பிரபஞ்சத்தோட சம்சாரத்தோட சம்பந்தமே இல்லாமல் இருக்கக்கூடியதான வித்தவுட் எனி கனெக்ஷன், லேபம்னா கனெக்ஷன், கொஞ்சம் கூட கனெக்ஷன் இல்லாத ஸ்வரூப பிரதிஷ்டா ரூபம், தன்னுடைய ஸ்வரூபத்திலேயே சிவ கேவலோகம் அப்படின்னு அந்த ஸ்வரூப பிரதிஷ்டையை அவன் அடைந்து விடுகிறார். अतः विवेकख्याति उत्पन्ने सति बुद्धि कीदृशी भवति. विवेकख्याति வந்துருத்துனா புத்தி எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்றார். அத ஜீவன் முக்தஸ்ய புருஷஸ்ய ஞான வைபவம் ஆஹா, அவருக்கு ஞானம் எப்படி இருக்கு. தஸ்ய சப்ததா பிராந்த பூமி பிரஜா, he will have 7 kinds of பிராந்த பூமி பிரஜா, 7 எண்டிங்ஸ் இருக்கும். there will be 7 types of convictions that we will have. இந்த ஞானம் வந்தவனுக்கு அந்த ஞானம் கன்வின்சிங்காக இருக்கும் 7 எண்டிங்கில். சப்ததா பிராந்த பூமி பிரஜா என்னது இது. விவேகினஹ புருஷஸ்ய புத்தி சப்த பிரகார பிரகிருஷ்டாபி, இன் 7 avenues they will be convinced. அவஸ்தாபி யுக்தா பவதி. ஜிக்ஞாசா நிவர்த்தி, கவுண்டட் டவுன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் வரும். ஜிக்ஞாசா நிவர்த்தி, ஜிஹாசா நிவர்த்தி, பிரேப்சா நிவர்த்தி, சிகீர்ஷா நிவர்த்தி, சோக நிவர்த்தி, பய நிவர்த்தி, சர்வ விகல்ப நிவர்த்தி. என்ன சார் புரியலே சார்? எஸ், we will explain to you. See, tasya sanjata viveka khyate, the one who had attained this viveka khyati, for him saptada sapta prakara pranta bhumihi, in 7 avenues the jnanam will be available in front of him. Anto nivrittihi phalatvena yasam bhumaya. There are 7 stages of this jnanam. எப்படி இருக்கும்? சா பிரஜா பிராந்த பூமி சப்த பிரகார சப்ஜாத விவேக ख्याते புருஷஸ்ய சப்த பிரஜா பூமய. இஸ் பிரஜா பிரகிருஷ்டம் சித்த ஞானம் 7 அவென்யூகளை கிரியேட் பண்ணும். தத்ர சதஸ்ரஹ காரிய விமுக்தி சம்யாக, ஒரு 4 காரியங்களிலிருந்து விமுக்தியை சொல்லக்கூடியவைகள், 3 சித்தத்தினுடைய விமுக்தியை சொல்லக்கூடியது. யதா ஞாத்தவியம் அகிலம் ஞாத்தம், இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணுமோ அத்தையும் நான் தெரிஞ்சுனாச்சு. ஐ ஹவ் வாட் எவர் நீட்ஸ் டு பி நோன், ஐ ஹவ் நோன் ஆல் ஆஃப் தெம். மம நகிஞ்சித் ஞாத்தவியம் அஸ்தி இது ஜிக்ஞாசா நிவர்த்தி ஏகா. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன், தட் இஸ் காரிய விமுக்தி சம்யா. There is absolutely no karyam left in me to be performed. என்ன? ஞாத்தவியம் அகிலம் ஞாத்தம், எதையெல்லாம் நாம் தெரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டுமோ அத்தனையும் நான் தெரிந்து கொண்டாகிவிட்டது. மம நகிஞ்சித் ஞாத்தவியம் அஸ்தி இத பரம், ஹேர் ஆஃப்டர் நத்திங் இஸ் லெஃப்ட் டு பி லேர்ன்ட். தட் இஸ் ஜிக்ஞாசானுவர்த்தி நம்பர் 1. ஹாத்தவியம் சர்வம் பந்தஜாத்தம் ஹீனம், ஒழிக்க வேண்டிய அத்தனை உறவையும் ஒழிச்சாச்சு. இனிமேல் எனக்கு ஒட்டோ உறவோ ஒன்றும் பாக்கியே கிடையாது. மம நகிஞ்சித் ஹேயம் அஸ்தி, தெர் இஸ் நத்திங் லெஃப்ட் டு பி கிவன் அப் ஹியர் ஆஃப்டர். இது ஜிஹாசா நிவர்த்தி துதியா, விட வேண்டும் என்ற ஆசையையும் விட்டு விடுகிறான். ஏன்னா அது விட்டுறதுக்கு ஒன்றுமே இல்லையே. He will be having the desire to give up something when nothing is left there to give up. Even that give up desire is also given up. ஸோ கைவல்ய பிராப்தியா பிராப்தவியம் அகிலம் பிராப்தம். எப்போ கைவல்யம் கிடைச்சிருத்தோ இனிமேல் இதுக்கப்புறம் கிடைக்க வேண்டியதுன்னு ஒன்றுமே கிடையாது. அத்தா நகிஞ்சித் பிராப்தவியம் அஸ்தி இது பிரேப்சா நிவர்த்தி. ஈவன் எதையோ ஒன்றை அடைய வேண்டும், சம்திங் டு பி அச்சீவ்டு, திஸ் இஸ் ஆல்சோ, திஸ் டிசைர் இஸ் ஆல்சோ இஸ் லாஸ்ட். பிரேப்சா, தட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ லாஸ்ட். விவேக ख्याति லாபேன கர்த்தவியம் அகிலம் கிருத்தம். எப்பொழுது எனக்கு விவேக ख्याति கிடைச்சிருத்தோ, புருஷன் வேற, பிரகிருதி வேற, நான் வேற, என்னுடைய ஸ்வரூபம் எப்பொழுதுமே சுத்த சைத்தன்ய ஸ்வரூபம் தான். அது எப்பவுமே சம்சாரத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடியதான இந்த பிரபஞ்சமானது ஜடமானது எப்பொழுதுமே தனிதான், என்னுடன் அதுக்கு சம்பந்தமே கிடையாதுங்கிற விவேக ख्याति வந்ததுனால கர்த்தவியம் அகிலம் கிருத்தம், என்னுடைய கடமைகள் அத்தனையும் செஞ்சேன். ஐ ஹவ் பெர்ஃபார்ம்ட் ஆல் மை டியூட்டிஸ். நகிஞ்சித் மம காரியம் அஸ்தி, தேர் இஸ் நோ டியூட்டி இஸ் ஸ்டில் லெஃப்ட் இன் மீ for me to perform. See the Chikirsha Nivarti. All these 4 are coming under the Karya Nivarti. Another 3, Kritartham me buddhi sattvam iti shoka nivarti eka. அப்பா, என்னுடைய புத்தி சத்துவம் கிருத்தார்த்தம், எனக்கு மோட்சத்தை கொடுக்குறவருக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணியாச்சு, நான் அதை என்னுடைய மோட்சத்துக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டாச்சு. கிருத்தார்த்தம் மே புத்தி சத்துவம் இத்தி சோக நிவர்த்தி ஏகா. அப்பாடி, நான் அதுலேருந்து வெளியில் வந்தாச்சுப்பா, இது சோகம் நின்னாச்சு. மம புத்தியாதியா குணா பிரலினா பிரயோஜனா பவாத். ஆல் மை புத்தி அகங்கார ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ் ஆர் ஆல்சோ லாஸ் பிகாஸ் there is absolutely no பிரயோஜனம் with them. புனः ந பிரரோஹந்தி இது பய நிவர்த்தி. இனிமே திருப்பி எனக்கு வரப்போறது இல்லை. இது பய நிவர்த்தி துதியா, பயம் போகிறது. தென் तदा अहम गुणातीत स्वरूप मात्रेण अवस्थितः. गुणातीतः देन all the सत्वम रजस तमस ஆறு குணங்களும் என்னை விட்டு போயாச்சு. ஸ்வரூப மாத்திரேன அவஸ்திதா, நான் திரஷ்ட ஸ்வரூபத்தில் மட்டுமே இருந்துன்னு இருக்கேன். சிதேக ரசா, ஞான ஸ்வரூபம் மாத்திரம் தான் என்கிட்ட இருக்கு. நத்திங் எல்ஸ் இஸ் தேர் இன் மீ. சகல விகல்ப நிவர்த்தி திருத்தியா இவா இத்தி சப்ததா பிராந்த பூமி திரஷ்டவ. இந்த மாதிரி 7 அவென்யூஸில் 7 ஸ்டேட்ஸில் இவனுடைய அந்த ஞானமானது வெளிப்படும். The jnanam, what is the viveka ख्याति that he attained, will be exhibited in these 7 stages. अत्र सूत्रकारः विवेक ख्यातेः सिद्धिः कथं भवति इति कथयति. पूर्वस्मिन् पादे समाहित चित्तस्य अंतरंग साधने अभ्यास वैराग्ये च अभिधाय आदौ अस्मिन् पादे व्युत्थित चित्तस्य क्रिया योगा अभिहितः. இல்லையா, இதான் உங்களுடைய கனெக்டிவிட்டி. எப்படி முன்னாடி பாதத்தில் என்ன சொன்னார்? சமாஹித சித்தசிய, ஏற்கனவே ஆரூட யோகமாக ஹைலி எவால்வ்டு யோகியாக இருக்கிறவன் ஏதோ காரணத்தினால he is unable to complete this yoga sadhana and he takes the next birth. Ipo he starts from where he left the yoga sadhana in the earlier janma. avanukka sollapattathu samadhi padam. adula abhyasam vairagyam ala solli through that how the vyuttita chitta kriya actually solli ipo in the chapter la how the vyuttita chitta that is still the practitioner. அவனுக்கு கிரியா யோகம் சொன்னோம். இப்போ அதிலிருந்தும் யுச்சதி சித்தஸ்ய, one who has not yet started with, அவனுக்கு சொல்ல போகிறோம். சம்பிரஜாத்த சாதனானி அஷ்டாங்காரி அபிதாத்து ஆஹா. அப்போ 3 ஸ்டேஜஸ் நான் சொன்னேன் முதலியே. கிரியா யோகத்துடைய ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்லேயே ஐ ஹவ் எக்ஸ்பிளைன்ட் இன் தி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் டியூரிங் தி கிரியா யோக செகண்ட் சாப்டர். தெர் ஆர் 3 அதிகாரிஸ். ஒன் இஸ் உத்தமாதிகாரி ஆரூಢ யோகா, த செகண்ட் ஒன் இஸ் மத்தியமாதிகாரி யுஞ்சான, த தேர்ட் ஒன் இஸ் ருருக்ஷு, தட் இஸ் தி பிகினர்ஸ். நவ் in the second pada, this so far in these 27 sutras we discussed about the yunjana, that is the middle person who is neither in the top level, who is not the beginner level. சொல்லியாச்சு. இப்போ இங்கேருந்து from this sutra onwards it is now going to concentrate on the beginners, people who have not yet started with yoga abhyasa. For them this yoganga anushtanat ashuddhikshaye jnanadiptihi aviveka khyate. This yogangas, whatever is being now suggested, yama niyama asana pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi, all these are anushtana. When they are performed, ashuddhikshaye, all the impurities will be gone. Then when the impurities go, jnanadiptihi, the only the jnanam will be glowing in your buddhi. Then viveka khyate, that will help you until you reach the viveka khyati. Okay. Vakshimana yoganganam anushtanati ashuddhehe klesha rupayah, ella kleshangalda ashuddham, avidya asmita raga dvesha abhinivesha tesham kramena க்ஷயே ஜாயமானே ஞானஸ்ய தீப்திஹி. ஞானம் வெந்த ஞானமானது கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக வளர ஆரம்பிக்கும். விவேக கியாதி எப்போ முடியும்? விவேக கியாதி உற்பத்தி ஆகிற வரைக்கும் it will continue. அத்தः யோகாங்கானுஷ்டானம் சுத்தி துவாரா பிரஜா சாதனம். நம்மளை சுத்திப்படுத்தி நம்முடைய பிரகிருஷ்டம் ஞானம், அதுதான் பிரஜானம், பிரஜா, அதுக்கு சாதனமாக அமைகின்றன. Thank you. Namaskaram. We will discuss this sutra from the next class. Ram Ram.